Hello and welcome, people. We are playing some Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, and we're playing, as you can see in the title, we're playing a rare 1.0 cartridge. So if you want to see what all of the stuff I explained, I won't go all through that again. My first live stream is in a playlist, so you can watch all these playlists of all these retro games that I play on this channel. But if you want to check out this specific one for Zelda Ocarina of Time, there is a live stream playlist. We have only just begun one live stream ago. So the short version is we are playing a 1.0 cartridge, and I showed you guys all of that. What is up? Ivan, what's up, man? So this is a rare cartridge, but I'm trying to make sure everything is good and set up. Like my little Link, he's staring at you. His eyes will follow you. So we only just finished the Deku Tree in the last one. And we went and got Saria's song. That's the 64 one. For sure. We are playing on the Nintendo 64. Hopefully you can see that. There you go. We got our 64. We got our little Link. We got our Hylian shield back here. There we go. We always like this. It says JP Zatchky's house. All right. I am never here at night. What does Navi want? We already talked to Saria. Impa said that the spiritual stone of fire is somewhere on Death Mountain. Alright, well, that's where we are headed then. That's great. I like the square map. Ignore that guy. So we just got this song, and this song is going to help us for later. So that was at the end of the first live stream. You can actually talk to Saria this way. I haven't used this since I started the game, like the first time I ever played this game, and it was actually useful to talk to Saria because you didn't know what else was happening. The forest is connected to many places. If you can hear my song, you must be somewhere that is connected to the forest. So that is basically telling you that that little portal that we found in the Lost Woods takes you to Goron City, but you can't get into Goron City because there's boulders in the way, and you need the ability to either have bombs or the ability to have the power bracelet allows you to pick up bomb flowers, which ironically enough you need to talk to Darunia, and you need Saria's song for that to even work. So you can't get over there until you have done everything else. Oh, I'm gonna make a little side stop here because I'm gonna grab one of the masks. I believe you can start the Happy Mask Salesman side quest upon your second visit to Hyrule Castle. So since we have already done the oh, this was a question on one of I popped into someone else's live stream, and they noticed that there was a difference between daytime and evening. Man, I am so bored. Things would sure be more interesting if there were more troubles in the world. Hey, that's just between you and me, okay? Yeah, so this guy, what he does is there's a Gold Skulltula over here. I don't remember if I got it on my first playthrough. Yep, I did. So at night, he talks about how he likes ghosts, and there is an inclination as to whether, or there's a theory that castle guard is the same guard who turns into the Poe collector. And there you have it. During the daytime, he talks about how he's so bored and he wishes there was more trouble in the world. So basically, he made money he was able to profit off of Ganondorf basically ruining Hyrule in the next 7 years. Let's pop in here. We are open now. So that's good to know. Oh no, we're not. What a strange shop. I wonder when it'll be open for business. I read the sign there, but it still seems weird. I think I remember you have to talk to the guard and give him the letter in Kakariko Village before he's the one who essentially gives you the side quest so you're able to come here. So I think there's like little moments in the game where these side quests haven't popped up yet. We do not sell masks at this shop, we just lend them to you. You sell the loan mask on your own. You pay back the money for the mask and we will lend you a newer model. You can borrow masks you have already sold again. However, you can sell each model mask only once. Basically, yeah, you're just a trade. It shouldn't be called the salesman because well, I guess you still are selling the mask to someone, but then you have to get the money back. It's almost like pawning it in a way. Can we do this early? I got the 40 already. Do you want to play a game? It's 20 rupees. Yeah, let's do it. It's really funny you being able to have 50 of these before you Man, I'm an expert at this. I just jinxed myself, didn't I? Oh, I didn't get the last one, no! I literally jinxed myself. I thought I had all 10. I'll let you try one. Oh, for free this time. You always lose the first one, I don't know why. It does that. Upon your second playthrough, it puts out immediately a, Oh, did I miss that one? I did miss it. Look, you can see it on the bottom. I guess it's good practice for the red rupees, because the red rupees are harder. I missed the green rupee, which is supposed to be the easy one. I'll let you try for free. See, you always lose the first one. I don't know why that's like put into the mechanic of this game. Or actually, you don't lose it. There's the animation of you slinging one, but it doesn't actually leave your seed holster or whatever it's called. Your bag. Oh, I cannot believe I messed that up again. Let's do it again. He keeps letting you try it for free, so I may as well. I don't ever have this much trouble doing this. In fact, I was really good at it for when you do it as an adult with the bow and arrow. For whatever reason, it's easier. There we go. Here's a fantastic present. You get the 50. I don't think I've ever gotten the Deku Seeds, the 50, this early in the game. Like, just because. Alright, well. Good to know. We've got it. Oh, a reminder. This is something, it's also one of those things that happens during a very specific part of the game. It's not going to happen right now. There's going to be a specific time where this happens, and I have to remember to come back here at the right time. So after you get all 3 spiritual stones, and you do the whole cutscene where Zelda gives you the Ocarina of Time, if you go straight to the Temple of Time and just do the whole, grab the sword and everything, you don't, there's a very small window that happens right between those 2 events where you go into these back alleys, and there is a castle guard who is, the theory is that it's one of the castle guards who is trying to fight off Ganon so that Zelda and Impa can get away. And this guard is literally dying. He is on his last breath over here. Sweet mic decoration. Haha, yeah. So this guard, I believe he's back here. And it's he's in this spot. right next to these bottles over here. So remind me to come back when that happens, because that only happens during that small window. It's quite an interesting little not a cutscene, it's a text where you get to talk to this guy. So if you miss it, you miss it. You can't go back. Someone going out of their way to do that is interesting. Alright, so Happy Mask does not pop up until you talk to that guard in Kakariko Village. So I guess that does not happen. So we're gonna head there. We're gonna head to Kakariko Village. Can you tell me in the comments which link this is from? Which particular game this is from? If you're in the chat. If you can see it, that is. Let me switch over to... Can you tell which link that is? Alright. We're popping into... It's cool popping into these places and it's the first time you've arrived here. And you get like the full showing of 1211. Zelda's attendant, the great Impa, opened this village to the common people. We have only a small population now, but someday this place will be as lively as Hyrule Castle town. Climb up the stairs at the north end of the village to find the trail that leads up Death Mountain, but you need the king's permission to actually go up the mountain. So we have a letter given to us by Princess Zelda. But before we do any of that, we're gonna do this because it's a good one to have. This little side quest gives you a useful item. So this woman here is allergic to. My Kukos have run away. Please catch 6 more. We need this Kuko to get a few other Kukos. If you aim just right, I messed it up. You have to aim this just right. Does anyone in the chat know of a different way to get to this spot? Because I always do the same jump from here. I've gotten so used to doing it that I don't know if there's a different way to get up here. I just jump across like that. So we throw that over there. There should be another. Yeah, there's this Kuko right here. We're gonna throw this Kuko as well. Wind Waker microphone deco. It is not Wind Waker. Because Wind Waker, he is green. So try again. That is very close though. It is Wind Waker-esque. But it's technically not Wind Waker. Also, in Wind Waker, that would be the Master Sword, and this is not a Master Sword, I believe. It is not. And it's not the regular sword you get at the beginning of the game. Alright, so let's not forget we threw these two. She needs, I think it's 7 in total. So while we threw the first one in, she said there were 6 left. So that is 3. This is 4. Actually, I think I may need that one. Yeah, we need a Kuko to get this Kuko. Now this one's funny because it's right here. For the longest time, I could not find this Kuko. The first time I ever did this, we were struggling to actually find all the cuckoos. And that one always runs away from you when you slam into that crate. 4 swords it is. It's the 4 swords adventure. So there's different colors. There's a red one, a green one, a purple one, and then the blue one. So that is exactly right. All right, throw that one over. There are 2 left? I don't know how many I've gotten. I know where there's one more. By the way, let me, for 1 second, they're actually right over here. To prove my point. To prove my point, if you can hear me, I'm going to switch over to this camera really quickly. These are super cool. These are manga, basically, of different Zelda games. So they kind of made these into a just a series of these. You can get, there's Twilight Princess. One of these is Twilight Princess. There's Majora's Mask, Link to the Past. This one is Ocarina of Time. It's green. And then what we were just talking about, this little dude right here is 4 Swords. So he's the blue version, 4 Swords Adventure. But what's super cool about this, and we're playing Ocarina of Time, so I'll show you this for a quick second, is there are a couple of inserts, or at least I thought there were. Yeah, there's a few inserts where there's like they're in color. So I don't know how well you can see that. I think these are super cool. It basically kind of expands on the story that you know of if you've played the games. Like I said, I think there's 1 or 2 more of these, and some of these have several stories within them. And then eventually you just get like regular black and white, like the manga. There's a Stalfos on this side. That's super cool. Really like these books. So it's not just the story of the game that you're playing, Ocarina of Time. There are also, oh, by the way, these are slightly different styles as well. So they're not all exactly the same. Here's some Majora's Mask. And they're just cool. They're really cool. But I think these were on Amazon. I've seen these at the store as well. Of course, people know about Hyrule Historia and the different encyclopedias and things like that. But I think these are really cool as well, especially if you're into manga and anime and stuff like that, like I am. My son has read all of these. There's Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Link to the Past, 4 Swords. I believe, like I said, there's a Twilight Princess version. And there may be another one. Bookshelf. All right. Let us continue. Did we get the one that was out here, out front? No, I don't think we did. By the way, for those of you in the chat, how is my audio? I think I had an audio problem on the last live stream. There was like a delay between the visual and then the audio. I think I fixed it, but I haven't checked it on a live stream. I only checked it on like regular video. So like those should match up, hopefully. In the audio and visual should be matching. I really hope so. If not, well, there'll just be a slight delay again. I don't know if I'm missing another Cuckoo. I think there's one to the right of me over here. Let's see what she says. Oh, that was all of them. So I think there are 7. I have allergies, so I get goosebumps when I touch them. For helping me, I will give this to you. It's fine glass and should be useful. Please take good care of it. So this woman is actually the beginning of 2 separate side quests. Not only this one to get an empty bottle, which is a very good thing to have, but also she is the beginning of the Bigoron sword side quest. And I think I may try to do in a different playlist, because I had already done this video before, I just hadn't done a live stream of it. But I was talking about how you can actually do the Bigoron sword side quest as early as finishing the forest temple as an adult. And the reason for that is because it's really advantageous to have the Bigoron sword early in the game, because it does double damage compared to the Master Sword. But you can't get it so early because there are a few things in your way. Like, there are physical barriers in your way that won't allow you to get it until you at least finish the forest temple, if I'm thinking correctly. There is a thing toward the end of that side quest where you have to climb up Death Mountain, and it is an absolute pain if you haven't done the Fire Temple, but it is still technically possible to do it. It's just extra annoying. But yeah, having the Bigoron sword is really nice. Especially if you happen to be doing a 3-heart challenge. We talked about the 3-heart challenge in the first live stream. The 3-heart challenge is when you are not allowed to pick up any additional heart pieces. So that includes getting through all the bosses, getting through the Ganon fight, and all of that stuff without picking up those heart pieces. So you finish the entire game with 3 hearts. So there are more ridiculous versions where people attempt to do that. No fairies, no potions, no Nairu's love, because that would use up... that would, I guess, defend you. So it depends on how hardcore you want to do it. And the other thing is trying to do a 3-heart challenge and get 0 deaths. So that little marker, when you open up the game, and there's a marker for... you know, that 000 as it starts out is actually a death counter. For those of you who didn't know, I actually didn't know that until before. There is a slight delay on live stream of gameplay, but not jarring. Okay, it was really bad on the last stream. It was like 5 whole seconds. I don't know what it is now. So I may have to mess with that a little bit more. I fixed it in a regular video recording, but that is not the same as a live stream. So hopefully it's not terrible. If it's like a split second, then that's okay. But yesterday was like an entire like 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi. We are, of course, playing this on the Nintendo 64, so this is not Nintendo Switch Online, this is not Ship of Harkinian or anything, as you can tell from this beautiful 480p signal that you guys are watching. So this guy is asking you, I've been talking this entire time, this guy wants one of the happy masks from the new shop that just opened, which was where we were in Hyrule Castle not too long ago. The funny thing is that this is a little cameo, a little Easter egg of Pokemon, because for those of you who know, the Keaton mask that he was asking about is basically a Pikachu. It's a fox. I believe in this game it's referred to as a fox, but it absolutely just looks like a Pikachu face. Welcome new viewers. We're playing some Zelda Ocarina of Time in lieu of the new the remake that's gonna come out for the Nintendo Switch 2, but we are playing a rare cartridge. So I like to talk about all the little differences that come up. There's a lot more when you get to the adult Link part of this game. So, lots of cool stuff. But we have already, in the last live stream, we already talked about, I don't know, 4 or 5 different changes that we saw compared to like the more mass-produced 1.2 copy. So what I'm talking about, I actually have where's my copy? There's another. So I have several copies of these because a friend was very nice and actually he lent me a copy of his rare 1.0 cartridge. This is my 1.2 cartridge. This is what we've had. My brother and I have had this since I think we bought it it was Christmas of '99, so it was the game of the year for that year. That's when we got this. This is how old it is. It's actually, you probably can't tell on this camera view, but it is faded. It is faded gold. I'm trying not to knock over my little Link statue. Compared to this one, which is a 1.2 cartridge, there is I don't think you can tell, but there's a color difference for sure from this one to this one. This is a 1.2, which is the more mass-produced. This is a 1.1, and then the one that's I can't show you because it's in the actual N64 right now is the 1.0 that we're playing. And it is the most rare version, which has none of the changes. When I say more rare, I still mean there were like hundreds of thousands of these produced. But it only happened in the month of October of 1998. And after that, they were sort of concurrently releasing the 1.1 and the 1.2s, which became the most produced of all of the copies of Zelda. I can switch back over to my game camera. All right, so now we have opened. So I was right. Until you talk to that guard in Kakariko Village who asks you about the shop, you can't. There's no happy mass salesman. And there's a very mysterious theory about this particular character in development. Whoever developed this character had other things in mind, because clearly we turned this into an entire second game, Majora's Mask. Some people theorize that this is like some sort of deity who just likes to mess around with the people in Hyrule, and he's just telling you about how you have to sell these masks. But he talks about and basically just messes with the people. Have faith. You get the entire, like, super destructive. He sets you on a journey of destruction, or which leads to the destruction of this alternate clock town that you become a part of in Majora's Mask. We will leave that for when we do a Majora's Mask playthrough, because I have not done that on this channel, and it is a sequel to this game. So there's the mask, and I think you get different responses from people. Hey kid, can't you see we're busy? Leave us alone. Yeah, everyone gives you a response when you have the mask on. When I was a little kid, I also wore a mask around. What? You say you can't imagine me doing that? All of these characters are reused, repurposed, by the way. This is the bomb guy from Majora's Mask. The guy who's running around. There he is. A mask. Yeah, he gives you the same. I took the mask off. See what he says now. I'm late. I'm late for a very important date. That's really funny because he's one of the side characters in Majora's Mask. And of course, Majora's Mask is, ironically, there's a lot more time stuff than in this game. You know, the big mechanic of this game is switching back and forth and going through time. But in Majora's Mask, if you do something at the wrong time, everything is like a micro. Your whole schedule has to be micromanaged, otherwise you can't finish the game. So you can't save everybody. That's the other thing. You can't help everyone along the way. You can get close, but I don't think you can actually. So this is cool because if you come back to Kakariko Village in the middle of the time changing, then you get all of this stuff. 1604. So it is 404. You can't skip through this guy's text. I want to see how much... I've got my phone pulled up over here. I want to see how much of a delay there actually is. I gotta turn up my volume. There might be some so oh, it's not too bad. I thought it would be way worse. I was pulling up my phone for how much of a difference there was between game and like the visual and the game audio. So my microphone is no doubt a little bit louder than the game audio. We're gonna go to the graveyard. There is no music in the graveyard, just for it to be a little more creepy, I suppose. This kid is walking around. Yeah, from 18 to 21 is Dompe the Gravekeeper. So he's asleep right now, and he's in here. You can't go in here because he's asleep. Go away. Yeah, this is an interesting location as well. We'll have to come back to it because you can't go in there during the daytime. However, Sharp the Elder. Uh-oh. I got both of them at the same time. We got Sharp and Flat. If you Z-target, you tend to send the pose away. I don't know if you can hit him with a slingshot. Yeah, we're heading there. This one's pretty happy. You killed me, unbelievable. Oh wait. You're not one of Ganondorf's men, are you? Because of my role as a ghost, I had to act like that. I apologize. Now then, let me introduce myself. I am one of the ghostly composer brothers of Kakariko Village. All the people in this village are born to serve the royal family of Hyrule. We brothers also served the royal family and were assigned to study the hereditary mystic powers of the family, though we never could figure out the power of the Triforce. We had almost completed our study of controlling time with the tones of ocarinas. Actually, we did complete that study. We would have been famous if that hateful Ganondorf had not tried to steal our results. We could never let him reap the fruits of our research. That's why we gave our lives to protect the secret. Interesting. So Ganondorf was already playing with this idea of time as well. Where'd the other one go? He's around somewhere. There he is. Do we get a similar thing here? I'm dead again. What? You again? Somehow you remind me of Princess Zelda. So we have had this. This has already apparently happened. So that's a weird thing as well. Since you may have some connection with the royal family, I will tell you a little more of our tale. Back then, people called us great composers because of the many musical masterpieces we wrote. But we brothers were not just composers. We had a mission to analyze the mysterious powers of Hyrule's royal family. Our names would be a part of Hyrule's history if we could complete our research. We kept our study extremely secret until we completed it. To tell the truth, each of us was studying a different song, one to summon the sun, and another to summon the moon. If you were really sent by a member of the royal family, I will tell you about the results of our study. We inscribed it on the royal tombstone. As a messenger of the royal family, you should show your royal credentials on top of the Triforce mark. That's actually really cool, because I usually just come here and immediately play the ocarina, but these composer brothers tell you that there's something to be done here. And they give you sort of this backstory that Ganondorf was indeed trying to mess with time, and these guys, these composers, paid for it with their lives. So the crest of the royal family of Hyrule is inscribed here. So super interesting. This entire thing, the royal family's tomb. Interesting that is all part of this lore, and moreover that they recognize you as someone connected to the royal family. So there's kind of that play with time as well, where these characters are all linked. Obviously, that's kind of the whole point of the name Link. For those of you who didn't know, Link is the link between all these different worlds and all the different reincarnations of Zelda and Link and Ganon and Demise and all of these things. So that is interesting. Oh, here we have yet another interesting thing. So it happens more as an adult because the character is larger, and there's another graveyard. There's a couple more of these in this graveyard, but here in this 1.0 version, this is something that a lot of people online don't necessarily talk about. But in the 1.0 version, I believe in the 1.1 version as well, but not the 1.2 version, when you try to fall into essentially a hole this small, it is very difficult. Like, I'm trying to slowly fall down this hole, and it won't let you. Like, it's trying to. The game has decided that you're trying to jump over this because it's a jumpable spot, and so falling into this hole is actually very tricky. I know that sounds really dumb, but it doesn't decide. Yeah, it does that. So the way you do it is you grab onto the ledge, and then you just press the A button. But in the subsequent copies of this game, you should just be able to fall down the hole no problem. So I'm trying, it won't let you fall in. It will let you grab the ledge because it thinks you're falling. You see what I'm talking about? I am physically trying to fall down this without it grabbing onto the ledge, and it won't do it. It doesn't do it. So usually, if you try on your copy without overjumping, if you overjump and then just pull back on the analog stick, it should make you fall down the hole. But in this copy, it's hard to do. I'm trying to make this happen. There we go. Weird. So they had to patch that, and then they put it in the maybe the 1.1 copy fixed it. Certainly by the 1.2 copy, this was all fixed. Just a weird thing. I believe there's 4 keys in here. There may be a 5th one. Yeah. Here's something else. This is not just a 1.0 version copy of this particular thing. So these redeads, which are scary as hell, by the way, if you tiptoe past them, they don't know you're there. So they only know you're here because of noise. So see, they won't do anything to you. I'm just standing here. Unless you run, they don't notice that you're here. So that's an interesting thing. I think if you bump into him, then yeah, that's a problem. But you can essentially just walk past them. You can walk past them carefully and nothing happens. That's probably counterintuitive to you being scared as a 10-year-old child. But yeah, if you just walk slowly, they don't know you're here. As soon as you start running, you effed up. Interesting, right? I'm gonna run away now. Yeah, see, now you start running and they hear you. Creepy. All the green fumes. Is he chasing me? I don't actually know. No, he did not. Any other weird things in here? We're gonna check this first. This poem is dedicated to the memory of the dearly departed members of the royal family. Can anyone read this? The rising, I mean the tablet itself, not the text that's in English. The rising sun will eventually set, a newborn's life will fade. From sun to moon, moon to sun. Give peaceful rest to the living dead. Welcome, new viewer, what is going on? We're playing a rare 1.0 version cartridge of this game, and it is the original N64. Show my controller here. Full on, cabled in, wired in, and I'm playing on a CRT TV, by the way. If you've seen any of my other playlists, I usually have my CRT thing behind me, but I'm using it currently right now, so I'm staring at you through the camera. The camera is right on top of my TV. It's the secret melody of the Composer Brothers. So we try to play these all on all of my old consoles, which are on this cart in front of me, and using an old school TV. Cool melodies. So, restless souls wander where they don't belong. Bring them calm with the sun's song. What a nice thing. Bring them the calm of the sun. So the idea here, of course, is, other than just quickly running away from these dudes, is you can actually just play the sun song and it stops them from... It just paralyzes the dead, essentially. There you go. You can't hurt me, you can't hurt me. I think eventually this wears off and then they pop out, which is extra scary. But yeah, those are the re-deads. I believe once you have Din's Fire, you can actually catch these on fire and you get like nothing special. It's not like a gold Skulltula or a piece of heart or anything. I think it's just like a chest recovery thing, so. Alright. Did we turn it to nighttime or was this dark to begin with? You need the boomerang to get that one. That gold Skulltula. I always remember counting 4 here. 1, 2, 3, 4 gravestones. And I believe this is the... I can't remember if this is a fairy fountain. We have the same problem. This is the funny thing. In case you just joined in chat, in the 1.0 version cartridge, the jumping action was patched in the subsequent cartridges because every time you go past even a small thing like this, it tries to jump all the way across. Even if you like are careful about it, the best you can do is dangle down the ledge. So falling across is not a thing unless you pull back purposely on the analog stick or just hit the A button and fall down. So Re-deads have to be hit many times. And I thought there was a... I think this is where you get the shield. So, by the way, if you're keeping track, you only need, I believe, 60 rupees is all you need to complete this entire game. 60 rupees are necessary. 40 of them come from the Deku Shield. There's no other way to get the Deku Shield, and you're trapped inside of Kokiri Forest, so you need 40 rupees. And then the other 20 rupees, for a total of 60, is you need the silver scale so that you can grab the bottle that has a letter in it to be able to get into Jabu Jabu's, Zora's fountain. And to get that silver scale, you need to play the $20 minigame. So it's one of the minigames that is necessary for you to beat this game, which is interesting. Another really funny thing is that the kid who's in here doesn't like you to move gravestones, but Dampe, who is the owner of this place, is like, nah, have at it. He just does not care. The stupid mechanic of this, you cannot fall in without... See, it always grabs the ledge. And you heard that little glitch. That's funny. Little glitchy dude. This is the Hylian shield. This one right here. It looks gorgeous. We love you. All the children of Glenda love you. Or was it Glenn? What is up, Glenda? The cult of Glenda. Thank you for showing up. Let us switch out to our beautiful Hylian shield. I'm an obsessive saber. We now have our Hylian shield. And Dampe is out, so we can actually, I believe we can pop into here. This is interesting. People have talked about this as well before. This is just a small hut. I happen to think the artwork for this one little location is one of the coolest ones in the game. Along with like the back alleys of Market Town, Hyrule Castle Market. So a couple of cool things. One is there's a lot of perspective here. You know, just from front to back, and this journal is like way out in the front. And for whatever reason, this dude, he has to black out his window because he has to wake up at night. So that's a little detail that's interesting. You cannot use the see up button. That's what that buzzer sound was. Usually, there are very few locations in Hyrule that have the top-down view where you can't do the top-down view. This is one of those. Because this is basically just like a lean-to cabin. It's like half of an A-frame for this cabin. And then the other thing is that it plays the music of a secret grotto, which is also interesting because you can't get in here early. Like during the day, he's sleeping, so you can't get in here. And then I believe, I can't remember if, I guess as an adult you can come in here and view the journal, and it gives you a clue as to what you have to do next. But this journal here, the Gravekeeper's Diary is here. Do you want to read it? So you get different messages based on that. If it's Child Link, he's written so much, and if it's Adult Link, he's already gone. When I dug a hole, I found a treasure that stretches, boing, and shrinks, boing. It's so fun, I'll never give it to anybody. So this is in reference to this is also the Deku Tree theme. Yes, you are right. So all the special grotto, the secret grotto areas use this theme, and the Deku Tree uses this theme. So it's really interesting that that's a thing. What was I saying? Oh, he's obviously talking about the hook shot. What's funny is that during life, he will never give this away. But in death, and presumably, he knew he was going to die because he wrote we'll come back when we become an adult, but when you come back as an adult, he tells you, come to my grave, I have something special to give to whosoever you know, finds my grave or something like that. We'll come back to it. He says, I'll never give it to anybody here when you're a kid, but then he's willing to, so long as you find him. So, funny. Not funny, haha. Funny like, that's weird. So yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's like half of an A-frame, a lean-to. Cool. We're gonna actually use the Sun Song again. Because, oh no, we don't have to. I was about to say, if you go over here, you can still talk to that guard. I think the guard is always positioned there, regardless of time of day or night. There's a handful of gold Skulltulas that we can get. There's one here. I believe there's one on top of this house, but I can't access it right now. The top of that house, on the other side of it, against the wall, there's a gold Skulltula, but you can't get that right now. I believe there's one in the tree in the central part over here. There's one on the other side of the house, and there's one on the ladder. This is one of the, this is a very sad character in this game, and I talked about it during the Bigoron Sword side quest. People are disgusting. My own father and mother are disgusting. He must be disgusting too. He's obviously not having a great time with his family. And there are some theories. There's a lot going on. Let me explain. So this guy is the brother of the Kuko lady who's allergic to Kukos, and you have to help her get all of her Kukos into the chicken coop over there. So that's number one. But he also lets you know later in life, during the adult link, that this guy is the son of the boss of the construction workers here in Kakariko Village. So they're building, you know, where the archery place is going to be. And they are also the ones to build the bridge to Gerudo Fortress. So the Gerudo destroy that bridge when you're an adult, and then they come back. This guy might be a junkie. So there is a... So it kind of seems that way on the surface, right? That he's like a junkie or something. But I think it's actually the fact that the construction worker is not just a construction worker. He's also a poacher. And in part of the Bigoron Sword side quest, when you get to the part of the side quest where you have to give him an item, the item that he's missing is the poacher's saw. And that saw is not a carpentry saw, like for what they use to build Kakariko Village and all this stuff. What it actually is, and this is one of those sort of violent theories, is that it's a poacher saw. And the way you know is the old hag in the potion shop is the guy's wife. So he's talking about my own mother and father are disgusting too. And there's something really interesting that happens when you talk to the construction worker in Gerudo Valley as an adult. His pants, he has special pants that are shaped like a tiger. It's like a tiger fur. And if you know, when you walk into the old hag at the potion shop behind that fence that's here in Kakariko Village, she has a little tiger. It looks kind of like an ocelot. If you know your cats, it's like a small. It looks like a little tiger, a little leopard, but it's like a smaller domestic cat. I don't think it's technically domesticated. It's still a wild cat, but it's a small version. Anyway, I'm getting too far away. The point is that because they're a family of poachers, and he obviously doesn't get along with any of these people, he's just depressed this entire time. But they are constantly basically killing animals for their hide, and the proof is in the guy's pants that look exactly like the cat that she has in her potion shop. It is a mistranslation. It's a Japanese woodworking saw. That may be the case, but then also, it's weird. It doesn't look like a saw that you would use for a tree, like when you actually have it. So, all of that is possible. I'm just saying there are too many things that line up. So then the junkie thing that you were talking about is a firm possibility, because what he likes are mushrooms. He finds mushrooms, or he's trying to find mushrooms in the Lost Woods, and then I think he's the one who hands you one, and you give it to the old lady so that you can have it made. What is up, Linkslayer92? It has been a minute, probably since Link to the Past. Welcome, welcome. We're playing a 1.0 rare cartridge of Ocarina of Time. And we have been talking about this dude in particular. Is if you caught all of that about this guy. So the construction worker I'm referring to, obviously, he's the big guy wearing blue, and all of his workers are super lazy. And they're just walking around. So this is the guy I'm talking about. You can't actually view. So see his pants? He's got these tiger, he has an interesting background for sure. These are the tiger pants that I was talking about. And those pants look exactly like the cat that's in the potion shop, the old hag potion shop. And these guys are the mother and father of that character. So yeah. Those guys each do the work of half a man, but they still want a full man's portion. They're lazy slackers, I tell you. Yeah, it's interesting going through and talking to these guys. I'm starving. Isn't dinner ready yet? It's 6:11 already. All these dudes are here. Let's eat dinner right now. They just want dinner. Look at this kid. My beautiful smooth hands are all worn out from working. Cult of Glenda. The name is the saw is Nokogiri. Okay, so in Japanese, that's what it is. What does Nokogiri translate to? Just working. Some Hylian smack for the mushroom potion. It's just a handsaw. Okay, when you look at the image of it itself, when you get it, it does not look like a handsaw that you would work with. It looks like the theory. This is not my theory, by the way. This is like a subreddit type of deal. But all of these things do seem to line up. That these guys are just skinning cats and making pants on the side. And the guy just thinks they're disgusting. So it may be a case of he is an animal rights activist and a junkie. All possible, I suppose. It's a Japanese handsaw. I own one. It looks like that. Okay, cool. Do you skin cat? I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Is there another way to get on this roof? This guy gives you a heart piece. You can obviously get up there as an adult. You can use the hook shot. I don't know if there's a way up there as a kid though. So, but the potion shop that I'm talking about is right there. And during the day, you need a kuko to get over there. I don't think that shop is open at all when you're a kid. It's definitely open when you're an adult. The other way to get to that potion shop is the back of I can't remember if there's the back of this shop allows you to get to the back, but it only happens during the day. So there's a lot. You can side hop. What's up, Dunk Nasty? I don't know if you can side hop that far. We're gonna try. Side hop all the way over. Start in the back right corner. Done it before. Back right corner of this. Oh, you mean back right here and then just make your way over? You land on the fence. Oh, ho, ho. That fence. I use that trick for my randomizer. Okay, I'll give it a go. I'm not exactly sure how you're talking about doing this. Oh, it was close. I don't think I've done this as a kid. Maybe I have by accident, like forever ago. Not that I'm trying to, I don't really care about this heart piece right now, but it's still interesting that you did find a way to get over there. Is it possible? Which corner do you mean? So if this is, whoops. So I'm currently facing south. So that would be my southeast corner. That's my southwest corner. This is northwest corner, northeast corner. I do it halfway on the side, like here, and land on the relative to the ladder entry bottom right. So relative to the ladder entry, I'm going halfway on the left side. You mean here? Because I seem to keep missing. You said get to the fence, and then from the fence you can get over. I only have 2 hearts left. That is totally fine. Oh! You're a genius. Look at that. You've done it. Hey, good to see you again. I'll give this to you as a memento. Awesome. Cool. That worked. Alright, while we're here. So yeah, the back of the shop lets you get through here, but I think it is also closed off when you're a kid. So there's no way across. And then, like I said, I don't think this is open as a Granny's potion shop. Gone for field study. That means she's out hunting shrooms, I believe is what that means. Early heart piece, though, is usually a rupee in my randomizer. Yeah. There's not much going for getting extra heart pieces right now. It's not that big a deal. The easier way to get over here... We'll see if this door is even open, because this is the thing that I'm talking about. Just so you guys see all of this. Because maybe, for those of you who absolutely... What are you calling your randomizer? Oh, you mean for Dunk Nasty? Or Link Slayer. Yeah, Link Slayer, I mean. Yeah, gone for field study. So it doesn't matter, time of day or time of night. So this potion shop is only open as an adult. And then the weird thing about this one is I believe it's also closed off by this guy. One of the construction workers is just sitting in here. Who's there? What a bad kid trying to enter from the rear door. Such a bad kid. I have to tell you some juicy gossip. The boss carpenter has a son. He's the guy who sits under the tree every night. Don't tell the boss I told you that. I guess he's quite ashamed of his son. Yeah. All the juicy gossip, right? So, we'll go back to nighttime and see. I am not that good. Oh, for programming. Yeah. So the back of the shop, the entrance, is through what would be the potion shop, or not the potion shop, it's just the regular, this thing. Here's another funny thing, I think, is it looks like it's daytime outside, like through the door that we just came in. And then this guy is in my way. I heard that our boss's house is just behind this house. He doesn't want any of us to know, though. So this place here happens to become one of the shops when you come back as an adult. The guy sells like a fairy bottle and a fairy potion and some other potion. So he must be working with the old hag on the other side. But you can't come in here. I don't think you can come in here during the day and get back here. Or maybe you can, but it doesn't help you in the Kuko side quest where you have to get all the Kukos. So, yeah, there's no way back through here. A job where you can make a lot of money without much effort. The only thing I can think of is thievery. Is that a bad idea? Yeah, so all these dudes are into weird stuff. That's why, you know, the whole gossip with the carpenter boss, his son, who apparently none of them like each other. There's just a lot going on. So we brought this Keaton mask, this Pikachu looking mask, because this guy wants it for his kid, so we're gonna do that. Do you think you're in disguise, Mr. Hero? Oh. Is that a key something character mask? I heard he's very popular recently. He's my boy's favorite, that key something mask, if you don't mind. Will you sell it to me? There it is. He's wearing it. My boy will be very happy with this. You really are Mr. Hero. It's funny because he just always has this mask on. From here on out, he's wearing this mask, so his kid never gets it. He just wants it for himself. Yeah. I also think it's funny how there's nothing on the sea right now that you sold it. Did you get the heart in the cutout in Death Mountain Crater? I have literally not been to Death Mountain Crater so far in this game. We're not just doing a playthrough of the game, we are also doing it because it's a 1.0 cartridge. So if you guys haven't played a 1.0 cartridge, all the cool little differences that are in this game. As you can see with the cutscene, this is the first time I've been to Death Mountain Trail. So we've only just done the Deku Tree, and we went to the castle, and we got Saria's song, all of that good stuff. We have done nothing else so far, I was about to say, and then he keeps it for himself. I don't have bombs. I always think there's a Gold Skulltula in there. I always think that this map in the bottom right looks like one of those chickens. You know those like playful rubber yellow chickens? That's what it looks like. Oh, crap. I feel like a replay is in our very near future. Gen Nasty. How many Nasties are in this group right now? We got Dunk Nasty and Gen Nasty. We got a nasty family in here. Did you know the game audio is delayed? I do know. It was actually worse the first time. You are Mrs. Nasty. Well, all the Nasties are here. That's quite amazing. Yeah, there's a little bit of an audio delay, and it was actually worse in my first live stream. I'm gonna have to adjust that. I can't do it while I'm live streaming, unfortunately, so I'll have to mess with it again. And I have no way of checking it either. So I checked it in like a regular recording in OBS, and it was fine. But then live streaming is not the same. So, unfortunately, I am sorry about that. How much of a delay is there? Because it was like several seconds before. I'm gonna have to adjust that. I'm gonna do something to save myself a little bit of time. We're gonna try to grab this heart piece. I wanted to come in here because when I play the Sun Song, it will put me back at my last maybe 2 to 3 seconds. Okay, yes, the other day it was like 5 seconds. So I guess that's a little bit better. So this must be a similar thing. Usually I can just get past here. What you're supposed to do is plant the seed down there and then come up as an adult. But if you just get a nice running start and then use the attacking thing, you can do that. Or you can probably do what you guys were talking about earlier, is to do a side hop, and it's much, much better. Whoops. Nope. I always find it easier to jump across, but the side hop definitely gives you more range. Yeah. Side hop. I just moved the bomb flower and jumped there. I like the audio delay. Don't tell me that. I don't. Who likes an audio delay? It's delayed like 10 seconds though. Is it really? Okay, here's a good way to check. Okay. So I did 3 sword swipes. I'll do it again. Anyone counting? 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. It is longer than I thought, yeah. Okay, it must be different on live streams versus a regular video. What's up, Ninja Styles? We're playing everyone's favorite game. Alright, there's a lot going on in here that we're gonna do. But number 1 is Darunia. Oh! There is something else. It's like 7 seconds. Okay, 7 seconds of delay is massive. Is it this one? Yes. Okay. There is something super interesting about this. So there is another theory. Let me know if you guys have heard this one. Everyone knows all the big ones, but the smaller ones seem to get away from people online until you actually go into the N64 cartridges. So, the idea for these time blocks, obviously you play the Song of Time and they go away or they come back, but if you come here as a child like we are now, obviously I don't have the Song of Time yet, but these blocks obviously are sitting here right now. If you come here as an adult without ever having moved these, I believe there are no time blocks here. And so Navi gives you a little inkling as to, you know, the appearance of them by turning green. It's like, oh, you play the Song of Time here and these blocks will come in. So what I'm getting at is the original idea for these time blocks wasn't just the fact that you open the door of time because it has the same carving, the same artwork. The idea wasn't just to be able to move a stone 3-dimensionally. The idea was for them to be placed in different spots within the adult timeline versus the kid timeline. Meaning that people speculate that they were trying to get you to do a mechanic going back and forth in between being a kid and being an adult by having to do puzzles that needed this time block, not just the fact that they moved around. And this is the only sort of artifact that was left over that I guess the developers never took this out, or they kept this one thing in to sort of show you that the original was probably bad game design. It's possible. A lot of things happen that way, where something bad happened, or, you know, a lot of really cool things or things that start as accidents, and they just left this one in. The other theory is just that they had to abandon the idea because there wasn't enough space. There wasn't enough memory on these cartridges to be able to do that. But imagine a Ocarina of Time game where there were more puzzles, where you'd have to go between adult Link and child Link to be able to complete these puzzles. In Skyward Sword, I believe they have those blocks where you raise them skyward and it sends them off and you have to go get them. So that's sort of, it's not the same thing, but the idea being that it puts you out of your way to go collect something or go do something to be able to finish a side quest or finish something that's in the game. So that's an interesting take on this, and it only appears in this room. Testers were probably confused as hell. Yeah, I bet they were. Programmer here, this would use essentially no memory. That's not always removed, I can assure you. Okay. Interesting. So maybe like you said, people who were, testers were confused as hell. Yeah, because you would have to go pretty far into the game to realize, you know, we need to go forward, backwards in time to do all of this. That would be a hell of a mechanic to have to deal with. It would be very confusing, especially early in the game. Yep, I always imagined it a step further, traveling to past links for help with a new enemy, whether it just be past weapons or links themselves. Yeah. Those are all interesting takes. Interesting to think about, or interesting just for the sake of coming back and doing something like that. How do you explain this mechanic to a user that feels natural? Yeah, I mean, good point. The only thing I can think of that was kind of adjacent to that was in Skyward Sword, the one I mentioned, where it the way you would almost have to like put a cutscene where it shows you that there's a traveling in time sort of thing. So like the Master Sword, when you pull out the Master Sword or put it back in, it you know, that blue light or whatever, and then you get the fading light, and then you come back. I know that's a lot. That's a lot of extra work to do, but there would have to be something cinematically that would have to take place to show you, oh, this is traveled through time, and now we would have to investigate, essentially. I think it's funny how there's always a Deku stick there. And I think one of the Gorons even tells you, I hit a Deku stick. It's my favorite thing. What the heck? Who are you? When I heard the song of the royal family, I expected their messenger had arrived, but you're just a little kid. Has Darunia, the big boss of the Gorons, really lost so much status to be treated like this by his sworn brother, the king? Now I'm really angry. Get out of my face, now. Are you asking me why I'm in such a bad mood right now? Ancient creatures have infested the Dodongo's cavern. We've had a poor harvest of our special crop, bomb flowers. Starvation and hunger because of the rock shortages. But this is a Goron problem. We don't need any help from strangers. So the other thing, not the other thing, what's interesting here is we got to get him into a good mood. And you learn from elsewhere the rock shortage. You learn from elsewhere that he likes music. But so far you only have two, well, I guess you have three. You don't have to go out of your way to get the Sun Song, or it's not part of the game yet that you need the Sun Song to get here. So you would only have two songs to be able to be here. And if you haven't got Saria's song because of this, I think when you go over to the bomb area that leads to the Lost Woods, you can hear the music coming from there, and one of the Gorons tells you, oh, this music is really cool, it sounds very green, or something along those lines. So those are the only two songs you can play here. Because he's already heard Zelda's Lullaby, I suppose, for him to open the doors. You guys are hearing a massive delay then. 7 seconds of delay. You'll be seeing him dance before you hear the song. What a nice tune. Just like that, my depression is all gone. Something just came over me. I suddenly wanted to dance like crazy. I am Darunia. I'm the big boss of the Gorons. Was there something you wanted to ask me about? I like how the camera is stuck on Link. This is one of my favorite cutscenes. Everyone loves him dancing. The Spiritual Stone of Fire, also known as the Goron's Ruby, is our race's hidden treasure. By the way, I mentioned this at his treehouse. Link's treehouse has that little image of him fighting King Dodongo. I'm assuming that that's what it is. And then no one ever talks about there's a thing up above. I believe that is the Goron's Ruby. I can't imagine it being something else. So I think I mentioned that in the first live streams. Like, is this a fairy? Is this a bomb that's being thrown? It's just kind of like a little scratch on the bottom of the tree. And it's got to be the Goron's Ruby. Why did they choose that one specifically? I don't know. Why wouldn't they choose the Deku Tree or the Sapphire? Things crackheads say for $3.50. Everybody will be happy again. If you do it, I will give you anything you want, even the Spiritual Stone. I have something for you. I'm not really giving you this in return for anything, but take it anyway. Why isn't... The camera has never moved. I've never seen this from this angle. It's just staring at Link. What's the shirt you're wearing today? Oh, I am wearing a... This is a Liverpool from the Premier League in England. So, I've got my Champions patch. This is technically last season's, because the new season's about to start now. So, that's what I'm wearing. I am going to I'm going to Nashville this weekend because Liverpool are doing an America's tour for their preseason. And they're playing Sunderland in Nashville at Geodis Park. So that's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. So that is what I have worn today. So, let me... There you go. Better look at it. That side, and then the gold patch on that side. Cool, cool. So we can now pick up bomb flowers with this thing. So this is similar to the bracelet in, I guess Link to the Past allows you to pick up rocks and stuff. So, power bracelet. There is another funny thing, what I think is funny. We'll talk about it when you become an adult, but it's basically about this shop and the red Goron tunic. The Goron bracelet was so annoying in a randomizer, I found out. I need to push back block as well as an adult. I am going to have to do, at some point, do a randomizer. I think this is the Goron who talks about the stick that he puts. He's like, oh, it's my favorite thing. We don't get many visitors way up here. Where are you from? The forest? What's a forest? Eh? It's where a lot of trees and plants grow? Now I'm even more confused. Nothing grows around here besides the bomb flowers. They don't have seeds or nuts around here either. Even Deku sticks are very scarce around here. How would you know about Deku sticks? The Goron bracelet was so annoying in a randomizer I found out you need it to push big blocks as well as an adult. That is crazy. As an adult, you still need the bracelet? How could you become an adult without... That's weird. I guess that's only in the randomizer. There are like prerequisites for things, but you don't need the power bracelet as an adult. That's weird. Interesting. Did not know about that. Helpful tip. I love that tunic bug. I got hit by it once as a casual player. Which bug are you talking about? I got stuck in a forest temple. That's how I found out. What do you mean about the tunic bug? We may be talking about two different things. In the code, in the Goron bracelet, it's called Strength Upgrade 1. Okay, so becoming an adult doesn't give you Strength Upgrade, I guess. That's weird because you can't possibly become an adult without doing all of this, and you can't do this without the power bracelet. The bug you mentioned where you can't get the red tunic. Is there a bug where you can't get the red tunic? I was mentioning something different, but now I'm interested in what you mean. And then I will tell you what I mean. So what do you mean about this bug? What's the bug? let's do the bomb flower thing while you inform me here. We're gonna do this real quick. I love how he spins around like the urn does. Already did that. You can't. Yes, you can't get the red tunic if you do some series of events. Basically, the shop stays permanently locked. So, interesting that you mentioned that, because what I was saying, again, in a randomizer, say you found all 3 spiritual stones and the Song of Time in the Deku tree, just as a reference. So you decide to try being an adult to progress further. Yeah. Okay. I see. I always miss that first time. This is easier with like regular bombs when you get out of the Dongo's cavern, because you have to time it to where that thing is coming at you. No, okay, so what I was talking about with the Goron tunic was the fact that I think it's weird. There's a reason for it, which I'm going to explain, but this was my thought process the first time. When you come back as an adult to try to get into the fire temple, the only way to get the shop door open, because this shop door, instead of having a bombable wall, is just one of those like sliding door type things. It's like red with an emblem on it, but it does not open until you talk to Darunia's son, who, by the way, has the same name as you, depending on what you put in the menu as your name. So, but if you stop him using your bombs, what he does is he gives you a Goron tunic. So you can't get into the shop to buy a Goron tunic unless you got a Goron tunic by stopping him with a bomb. Now, the only time where that is actually relevant, where that is important, is if you attack a like and the like takes away, he can take away your shield or your tunic. He can't take away the forest tunic, the green tunic, but he can take away your Hylian, the blue one, or the red Goron tunic. So if for some reason you didn't kill the like and get your stuff back, or if you got really unlucky, this happened to me one time. I think I was in Ganon's castle, and there's a like that's on top of a platform, and he spits out. If you kill him while he's on the edge, it spits out the tunic, and it fell off of the map. And so I could not get the thing back. I couldn't get my tunic back, which was really funny. And that was like the only time I ever had to go back to the shop, because I had no tunic. So the only reason for that shop to exist, if you're fast enough, you can light the bombs near the boulders that block the shortcut to the Lost Woods. Oh, you don't have to be fast. There's bombs right there. You can also do this section. I believe this has the big Goron sword guy. So there's 2 sections of this. But you can also stop that guy and get an upgrade on bombs, but you need, obviously I need the regular bombs, which I don't. There is a bug to all of that. Yeah, a very similar tunic loss happened to my friend recently. Yeah, it's funny how all of that happens. Ooh, that was close. I like how this guy was hid behind bombs. I'm working on something really cool right now, but I think it's going to take a while. Approximately 7 years is how long it's going to take. If you can wait 5 or 6 years, it should be ready. Okay, this is a 20 rupee. Oh, it's a 5. Yeah, so this guy gives you the Bigoron fake sword. It's just called the Giant's Knife. And what I thought was cool, this is interesting in this game as well, is so that sword breaks. It's not the real Bigoron sword. You have to do the entire side quest to get it. But if you have the Goron, the Giant's Knife that he gives you, I think it breaks after 4 hits of an. I think it depends on the enemy, or you can just hit a wall, like this. If you hit it, I think if you hit it 4 times, it will break. If you come back and buy it, every time you buy it, the subsequent time it adds 1 more hit, and I think it goes up to 8 hits. I may be wrong about that, but there is another challenge, like if you want to do the 3 heart challenge where you don't pick up any heart pieces and you complete the entire game that way. There is another challenge where you can play the game with the Giant's Knife. And of course, you've broken it by the time you use it. So you don't use the Master Sword ever. The only time you can use the Master Sword is the very last hit on Ganon. That's how you complete the game, but otherwise, no. The rules are you use the Giant's Knife, which when it's broken, as an adult, does the same amount of damage as the Kokiri sword, which is half of the Master Sword. So it's really funny. In this economy, that's a lot of rupees down the drain. Yeah. It's like 200 rupees for the Giant's Knife. And like I said, it gets stronger every time. So that's a funny thing. If you want a challenge other than, randomizers, try to beat the game doing a 3 heart challenge and using the broken Giant's Knife and nothing else. Where's the other one? This thing. Or is it the other side? Now I forget. I think it's below me again. I'm trying to find the way to the Lost Woods, which I have forgotten. I never use it, but I just think it's interesting that they added it to this spot, and I don't think it's particularly useful. It is, I guess it's this one? Or is that where I just was? Now I'm confused. Don't know why. Perhaps it's down here. I do like the writing on the walls. All the little all the Gorons. I think Goron is very Goron City is very sort of lackluster in this game. So here's where you get your clue as to, oh, there's some beautiful music coming out through here. This Goron over here. That's supposed to be your clue to play Saria's song. How is Big Brother? I see. By the way, did you know the music coming from deep inside of this tunnel? We all like this music. Yeah. Oh, the bomb never exploded. I walked away and it just didn't action the bomb. That's funny. You have to look at it or it doesn't exist. Someone told me that when I was playing Super Metroid. It might have been you, Dunk Nasty, or Ninja Styles. If it's not on the screen, it doesn't exist. Okay, I don't want to go into the Lost Woods. Okay, now we're going to go into Dodongo's Cavern and start Dodongo's Cavern. I was talking to the Goron, canceled out the bomb. Oh, it was talking to the Goron, okay. Not me being far away, but talking to the Goron. Yeah, that makes sense. It's been mentioned many times that in the remake, people want Goron City to be replenished with all of the Gorons and everything back in. This is one of those cool spots, I think, I think I mentioned it in the first live stream. I never paid enough attention as a kid because you're just trying to finish the game. But here, I believe time does flow on the Death Mountain Trail. And so when you're looking down at this, the lights, when it gets to nighttime, the lights come on in Kakariko Village. And I think this is one of the most peaceful shots. One of the most peaceful shots in this game. The remake needs a rock roast crisis. Breading back bad style and all. Oh, Breaking Bad style and all. Okay, that sort of rock roast. In Breath of the Wild, there's the rock roast thing. Is time passing? That's a weird question, but I believe time is passing. I'm going to try to be quiet through this. I'm pretty sure you see the lights come on. I think it's super cool that they do this. If you look to the left, Kakariko Village, the lights come on at night. Is that not the coolest thing ever? The lights coming on in Kakariko Village. They just go. I think it's beautiful. This is peaceful. Okay, anyway, just wanted to show you that. I think it's cool. I think it's underrated. If they don't have an hour-long King Zora moment, I will lose it. Oh yeah. If you're a true Zelda fan, that you know how many weeps there are. In the beta maps, this same area exists. Kakariko Village is also in the beta format. Janky as get out. It's beautiful. I think this is another random comment, but I think this, without Link, and if I could take all the HUD off, like the hearts and all the items and rupees and map and all of that stuff, this is such a picturesque thing. And this village down here, it looks like, it reminds me of Van Gogh's Starry Night, like the Impressionist painting. If you could like zoom in on it, and it's just like blurry textures, but they're there, and the lights coming on just looks beautiful. I think it's really nice. I think that's really nice. All right, enough of that. The lights went off. I missed it because I was talking, but the same thing happens. The lights go off in Kakariko Village during daytime. But seeing it happen is what I think is cool. Oh crap, the bomb flower. Alright, let's throw this off. Whoops. We'll take the damage. I don't think you can, well, let's try this again. So last time I side hopped. If you want to try this, I know I've done it before. If you jump, nah, I messed it up. I think it's because I hit the side wall. But if you do that, you can get over there. But the side hop works best, I suppose. I've beaten this so many times, I prefer the Master Quest N64 version, but never seen those lights. Cool. Yep. I'm glad I could be the one to show you that. The lights coming on. So, this is interesting too, because anytime you come into a new place, there should be a name, but there isn't one. So it doesn't show you Dodongo's Cavern. This says Death Mountain Trail, but when you pop in here, there's no title. So it isn't until you open that door that it tells you Dodongo's Cavern. Ninja, is it true that the water temple is easier in Master Quest? I don't think the this is... People will not like me for saying this. I think the water temple is boring and not difficult. I think people like us who know this game really, really well, it's just time consuming for no reason. Because once you know, and especially in that one room where the cutscene was too short and people missed where they were supposed to go, which when I get to the water temple, I'll show you guys that if you don't know what I'm talking about. That's really the hardest part of that water temple, is just keeping track of where stuff is. The water temple is not difficult, and speedrunners just hate it because there's just not a good way. So when I get to that, I will show you guys methodically how I go about it. Yeah, it's easy once you know. Yeah, I mean, that is true for... I want to see if the game shows you. Now that that door is open, does it show you? Death Mountain Trail. I think once you've reached where the wall was, then it shows... Okay, see? It says Dodongo's Cavern now, so it doesn't show you until you open the door. Isn't that weird? That title only comes up once that door is blown off. Anyway, I don't know. Those little details are things that I think it's funny. The way things happen, right? It looks like there are many lava pits around here, so watch your step. Thank you, Navi. I was about to touch the bright red floor before you said something. I technically agree, but for me, Dark Link saves the water temple, in my opinion. Yes, absolutely. Dark Link is one of my favorite things. I think I'm going the wrong way here, but I'm going to grab this for the sake of doing this. There's two very obscure holes you gotta drop down to progress, and finding those from scratch is no joke. Yeah. One of them the game shows you, but again, and this is funny because they in the 3DS version, which I never play, the cutscene is longer for that one hole that's next to the spikes where you change the water level. It's in the middle of the central tower of the whole water temple. That cutscene is longer because people said in the N64 version it's like a split second, and if you miss it, you don't know that it's there. Like, you have to go out of your way, put the iron boots on to get down there, and you just don't see it. And then the other one I think you're talking about is one of the bombable ones where there's like that whole block puzzle thing that's kind of annoying as well. Yeah, I find the water temple more cumbersome than anything. But like you said, I think it's just because once you know, it really is pretty simple. It's not the difficulty so much as it is traversing back and forth, putting the stupid boots on, changing the water level to where you need it. No, not that. That bombable floor is optional. Yes. Oh, yeah. You're right. I think you're right. The other one, I believe, is... This is like a Deku, a business scrub. The bombable... There's a few bombable locations in that game, in that water temple. The one that I always forgot to go back to was where Princess Ruto is, but it's in the middle section. So you have to take the water level all the way down, then you have to go to the central tower to bring it halfway up, and then you go back to that spot where there's a gash in the and then do that. So that may be the one you're talking about. Not sure. This is annoying as well. So you need the Scarecrow song. Is it here or in the next? It's up there. You need the Scarecrow song to hookshot up here as an adult to get the, there's a gold Skulltula up there. And then something similar for, there's a bombable wall over here that gives you one as well, I believe. This guy always hits me. These little Dodongos. Got my heart back. Alright. I think this was meant to scare you. If you've only played Link to the Past and Link's Awakening up to this point, this is the first time you see one of these guys. and you don't want to pull him because you think he's gonna come to life. Not all of them came to life in. You can use the Dodongo larva to bomb that wall. Yes, you can. But I believe, I may be wrong, but when you get in there, you need the boomerang to be able to reach the gold Skulltula. So, I don't think so. Let's try it, just because you mentioned it. Let's do it. I think I have to go all the way out to do this. You can also see up to where you need to go. By the way, another thing that's sort of creepy here is that this thing here, which is kind of the main show here, that's the small Dodongo compared to these ribs of this ginormous Dodongo. So I always thought that was cool. As a kid, I was like, holy crap, this thing got eaten by an even bigger one. Anyway. You do need the boomerang though. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. If you get this guy to follow you, you can make him bomb the wall. We'll just take the hit for it. Oh, come on. You gotta hit him. You can actually hear the gold Skulltula as well. I don't know if I'm close enough. I don't think I got close enough. You can hear it, the gold Skulltula. Come on, I just need one of you. Otherwise you just go left and you're like, I'm back where I was. And that's one of the quintessential where do I go moments. Yeah, that's true. I think you're talking about the Armos, the statue. This is very early in the game, so you still have a lot of hand-holding in terms of where do I go next? Alright, I'm not worried about it. You can absolutely use the mini Dodongo to open that up and then go in there. And then the gold Skulltula is up on the wall. There's a bunch of fire keys, I think, in there. And yeah, you can't get it because you need the boomerang to be able to reach it. Otherwise, no point. No point to be in there. I have a question for those of you, whoever it was it Dunk Nasty was doing the randomizer or Ninja Styles? You might know what I'm about to ask you in this next room. Do you know before I say it? So this is the first time you fight these dudes. This happened to me by accident one time. I think that's the only way it ever happened to anyone, by the way, is by accident. So you're fighting these dudes. I was fighting them over here. The hidden, yes, I am talking about the hidden area, but more specifically, because people didn't know for the longest time that this was a hidden area, because it doesn't show up on the map either. My question was, if you're playing a randomizer and one of the items happens to pop into this spot, because this is technically a spot where there's a piece of heart. There's a recovery heart here. If I can show the wall. Yeah. See, there's a heart here, and it's not on the map. So imagine this is like the long shot or something. Or the Master Sword location. That would be awesome, wouldn't it? What is going on? Oh, it hadn't actioned yet that I could actually hit him. I remember the artwork for this thing. The artwork has like, it just looks really cool, right? The artwork is extra mature, like the Stalfos and the Lizalfos, and then you come into the game and it's these polygon derp lizards. So, you have to fight these dudes again. I went the wrong way. You heard the block come off on the door, the previous door. So yeah, and then of course the other thing is, oh, look at that. You can't see it. So up above you is another Lizalfos fight, and you can absolutely look, when you're up there, you can look down to this room, but right now it just looks like, I guess that's supposed to be sort of fog or steam from the heat, but you can't look up. It won't let you right now. This game is indeed incredible. People are finding this stuff years after the fact. I think now with the internet, everyone has found like everything possible in this game, but in the meantime, I didn't know about that because I never looked up crap in this game when I was a kid. We just played it. Oh, freaking. I don't even need whatever is in here, but come on now. Business scrubs. You win. In return, I will sell you Deku sticks. Why not? Rupees are worthless. Deku sticks are great. And you get 3 rupees back, so. I keep not using my Deku sticks. Deku sticks, in case you didn't know, Deku sticks are as powerful as the Master Sword. There's a little hidden area at the bottom of the water platform room in Water Temple that my friend found by accident when he fell. There is another, when I get to Zora's domain, there is another, we'll have to ask our developer friend here, Glenda, what Glenda thinks about this. Let me know if you know what I'm talking about in Zora's domain. Keep the chat interesting. One, two, three. A hidden area at the bottom of the water platform room in the Water Temple. A hidden area in the... Huh. I have to think about which one that is. There's so many rooms in that Water Temple. Alright, so this game, all it's done is taught you how to get... I hope my computer sound didn't just murder your ears. You know where you gotta hookshot a bunch. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the hookshot, the target platform. I love that room because you can endlessly just sit in there and hear Link make his noises. Yes, that is the same room. You need a long shot because there's a Skulltula way up high, and you need the long shot, not the regular hook shot, to get it. You said there's a hidden... There's like a hole in the floor somewhere. Yeah. Huh. We'll have to do that. There's a little cutout at the bottom of the far side. Interesting. Let me know how you guys do these stairs, because I love doing that. I'm going to switch back before I ruin my Deku shield. And then obsessively save. I like to sit at the bottom of these stairs after I've placed the bomb, and then I can backflip my way up, and you look extra triumphant when you do the... If you stand here and turn around, the little cutscene makes you look like a badass. If you stand right in front of it, you've got like 2 seconds to get there. Like we did it on purpose, and then you can backflip your way up, because going up this thing takes forever. So backflip is the way to go. Here's another annoying Gold Skulltula you need to come back as an adult to get. You can't do this early in the game. So there is a Gold Skulltula up there, and you need not only do you have to come back as an adult, but you need the long shot to get it, because the regular hook shot won't do it. It's up on that wall. More rupees that I don't need. And then I believe there's another gold Skulltula up here. Yeah. Not as an adult. You can come back as a kid, but go through the dungeon in reverse. Go through the dungeon in reverse. What do you mean, go through the dungeon in reverse? There's not a way up. You can actually see the gold Skulltula. I don't know if you can see that. It's right. You can see it spinning around. You may have to zoom in, pinch on your screen to look at it, but it's actually there right now. I'm not sure what you mean. So this is why I like having you guys in the chat, because I do things. I've played this game for 28 years now. And I do things a certain way, and maybe I'm stuck in my way. So it's nice to hear from you guys how you do it. I always come back as an adult to get this one. But you're telling me I can come back. I can do it now. You just have to come back in a different order. I don't know what order you mean. Is there a way to drop into this spot from somewhere, or go up through the raising platform to floor 2 and go backwards in the dungeon? Okay. Alright, so that'll be later. We're about to raise the platform after we fight the Lizalfos again, which is in the next room over. Interesting. I did not know that. So you can drop in from a different spot. This is a room where if you move the wrong Armos statue, they actually, like, all of these other ones come alive except for this one. I thought there was one more key, so he's gonna get me. My worst nightmare is a room full of fire keys. So after raising this platform, you can come back through, you say. So it's kind of interesting. I have to go all the way around. The boomerang is needed, but if you exit the dungeon and come back, the bombable staircase will be raised again. If you exit the dungeon and come back to the bombable staircase will be raised again. Go up through the raising platform to floor 2 and go backwards in the dungeon. Stupid spikes. There's also a heart behind here. So this is funny. In case no one ever moved this. There's one there. Let's see if I can get this on my first try. It never happens. You will see if you try it. Okay. This is one of those things that in this 1.0 cartridge is annoying. Because making it wait. This is a 50 rupee and I'm never coming back, so we're gonna open the 50 rupee. Even though I'm full. Oh, it's a 20. I could have sworn in my 1.2 version, I'm pretty sure that's a 50. Okay, this is what I never get in one try. Sometimes I get it. Ah. If you hit the ladder, it kind of forces it back onto the platform, but that's sort of difficult to do. Bomb flowers have twice the amount of time as regular bombs. There you go. It's like a 3.5 second fuse for regular bombs. And then bomb flowers are a little longer. Like twice as long. If you fall here, you have to go all the way back around. There's this next little Dodongo, you can hit him and roll into him and you don't take any damage if you time it just right. Alright, this is the room we were talking about earlier where you look up. So that's 4 hits on that Lizalfos. And you can't like chase the other one. Like he's stuck right now until the other one comes over. So if you do 1, 2, he always goes away on the 3rd, but if you hit him with a double side attack, then you've technically hit him 4 times. So when he comes back around, you can hit him again. Just 1 time and it gets him. See, the math should have been the same, but it wasn't. Even if you have the Kokiri sword, I always just use the Deku stick. Yeah, the Deku stick is quite strong. The thing is, it breaks though. When you hit it enough times, it breaks off. So, but it is stronger for sure. This is the room, so you can look down from this room, but you can't look up from the bottom. The Master Stick, that's right. So, funny if you do all that. So this game, all it's done is, it's a very simple dungeon in that everything just, it's essentially the same run through, but one goes right on top of the other. And it just circles you back around to the exact same rooms you've been in. So this is technically the same area where all the bombable thing is over there. Right? And this is all the same. Here's a little texture thing that is funny. Maybe Glenda can let us know about this. But essentially, when they are building these rooms, the textures are basically just stretched. Like if they need a platform to, oh, that platform's not long enough, I can't jump across it, I need to be able to jump across it, then they will just take a texture and essentially stretch it. And here is an example of this texture just being stretched because that is not long enough to get through. So you can almost physically see the stretching. See how the polygon shapes are all distorted? So this platform originally ended right here, just flush with the rest, and they just had to go bloop. Speedrunners don't even deactivate that fire. They just side hop and ledge grab around it. That's crazy. They don't do that fire. There may be a gold Skulltula in there. I don't remember. And I don't care. Not right now. I did it in my other playthrough. If you check out my playlist, just the last 4 videos, I got like all the rest of the everything. 100% of everything. Okay, so we've now activated this thing. I was trying to read it, not climb on it. Giant dead Dodongo. When it sees red, a new way to go will open. Right. So, I've tried the fire skip several times and I can't quite get it right. Yeah. I never knew about that because the minute you try to jump it and you can't really side, if you don't get it just right and you have to come up, and then that screws you over. What's really bad is if you're trying to speed run and you do that, and if you happen to mess it up, then you have to go all the way around. So how much time did you really save? I mean, I'm sure for speedrunners it's like, oh no, 1 more second. And that sucks. That does indeed look very difficult to try to do that. On the ledge. The Dodongo sees red. Okay, so if I were to leave with all of the different speedruns out there, 1 second means a lot. Oh, I'm sure it does. We're going to save. I'm going to use that big platform, and we're going to go backwards, like you were talking about. I know I need the boomerang to get that, but I'm genuinely curious, because this is something that I don't know about. So I'm going to take that platform up, and you said go in a reverse order. Well, I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what you mean about the bombable stairs. What that has to do with the with me being able to get the gold Skulltula. So let's go back to that spot. Okay, so this is what we activated to go all the way up. So you may have to tell me which room specifically you're talking about. With that switch on, the moving platform goes higher. Now you can quickly reach the second floor. Yeah, okay, so we're on the second floor. So now, what is it about going backwards through that's going to allow me to get that gold Skulltula? I can't go this way. You're talking about side hopping through this thing. That's not going to help me. Can I reach that platform? No, I can't. It's going to force me all the way around. Just keep going to the Skulltula. Do I have to go? You could have jumped down. Oh, right. Over here. I'm going to get hit by this thing. Okay. You're saying go across to the Skulltula. This takes me to the second Liz Alphos fight. No, it doesn't. So the room before this should be the stairs. I hate fire keys so much. It's gonna get me again, I swear it will. So, this is the room. Oh, the stairs. Okay. I see what you mean. There's also a... There's also this. I did not know that that was the case. I did not know you could do this. That is super cool. I didn't think about the stairs being all the way up. Yeah, no, we determined that you needed the boomerang for sure, but interesting that you can do this because I didn't know you could. I always came back as an adult and I used the long shot. So you don't need these stairs to be up or down. It doesn't matter. You can just stand over there and you can get it with the long shot. So interesting. There's two ways to do that. All right. Now we're going to go, I guess from here we can just go all the way back because we're going to fight Dodongo now. I want to know who does the maintenance on the metal bars that block the door. I'm sure those things need oiled from time to time. Who's doing that? Probably one of the Gerudos. They do all the metal work. hopefully you guys know the theory about, well, it's not theory. This was also, I think this was a game design thing as well, is late in the game development, I guess someone decided, no, we need these items here for this. And so they had to change where the ice arrows were important, or actually not important at all, but probably were important in early development. And but the idea being that the location of the ice arrows should have been the ice cavern instead of the metal boots, the iron boots, and then the iron boots should have been placed elsewhere. And all of the Gerudo items really are supposed to be like metallic items, because that's what they do. The mirror shield, the iron gauntlets, the silver gauntlets, the iron boots, those were all things that the Gerudo would be using, not how it turned out. And so that would also alter the temple order. So there is a lot to say about that. By the way, this is the first time we see these blocks, so I don't know why this happened. I don't know why on the internet everyone talks about, oh, the 1.2 cartridge has where they change the this because it's related to Islam. No, all of the cartridges, the 1.0, 1.1, and 1.2, they all have this, including the mirror shield. So it's not until the Master Quest on the GameCube and the 3DS versions, and even I think the Nintendo Switch Online, even though it has the 1.2 version where they've taken everything else out, they took this out as well, and it looks like it looks like the current version. But no, the 1.2 cartridge also has it, just like this. And it's always funny to me that it's backwards on the mirror shield, which makes sense because it's going to reflect, and once it reflects, you see it the right way. So this should be turned in the other direction. The reason speedrunners do that, fire skip, is they don't get the slingshot. It's not just a 1-second save, by the way. Oh, okay. Yeah, so no slingshot. How do you progress through... How would you progress through the Deku tree? There are a few spots where you need a slingshot to progress. So how would you do that? Without getting the slingshot. Interesting. You don't. Wow, how would you do it? I'm trying to think, because I just did the Deku tree in my last live stream. There's a room where it's one of those little eye things, and the only way to progress through that is to hit it with a slingshot. What else would you hit it with? Does a Deku nut work, maybe? I don't know. Genuinely don't know. Because by that point in the game, you only have 2 items. There's a door of time skip as well. Okay. Oh, I guess for that sort of speed run, it's like glitches and all the other crap as well. A legit speed run that does not use glitches. I keep thinking that fire keys is gonna... Yep, there it is. It all depends on the type of run you do. Yeah, of course. I don't know all of those, like, you know, skip here, sidestep here, do a lunging, diving sword move, get through here, and then you clip yourself through a wall. I don't really know. You're saying even glitchless you can do some of that stuff. That's crazy, though. I can't imagine that. I always put this bomb down, and then I grab this chest. And then I like the look of the sword coming down when you do a diving move here. So just before we go into Dodongos, I like to do this. because it just looks cool. What spot in the Deku tree again? It's like the second door. There's a room that's got 2 Deku Babas. And it's just an eye. It's one of those little like square eyes that are up above the door. And you hit it with a slingshot and it opens the door. That's literally it. Because like the Deku tree is so simple. There's like nothing else you could do. I think you can hit... I already messed it up, but you can kill Dodongo in like with one move if you use the Deku stick. Otherwise it takes 3 of these hits, I believe. Nope. Did not work, so it's going to take another hit. The old jump slash. Yeah. Some things aren't considered glitches, but are considered exploits of in-game mechanics, like how you can use a Kuko to fly past the waterfall at Zoro's river. Well, they do that jump slash, bounce off the wall to skip sections. Well said, Link Slayer. Yeah. No, I understand those. I also understand using, like, the bomb. And, like, there are a few places where you can use a bomb combination and hover boot change. And then it can get, like, you can get across Gerudo without needing the hook shot or anything like that. There's a few other ones, like in the Shadow Temple, same thing. You can, like, you can essentially, like, Halo bomb yourself across. If you know what I'm talking about in Halo, where you do the grenade jump. It's kind of like that with a bomb. So, those are in-game exploits without, like, glitching yourself through a wall. Yeah. What I don't like are the glitchy ones where you do, like, you get yourself through a wall and you're just exploiting. Exploiting code is different than exploiting in-game mechanic. So you're absolutely right about that. So it's sort of just semantically different. Which, how are you cheating your way across? The waterfall has a small area with no collisions. Yeah. All this trouble must have been caused by that Gerudo thief Ganondorf. Yeah. You're talking about Zora's Domain waterfall without needing to play the Zelda's Lullaby. Is that what you're talking about? Glitch your way through the waterfall with a chicken in hand. Yeah. I think I've seen that. Yeah. It's like just to the side of the waterfall, and you can take a chicken through it. I think that's what you guys are talking about. The thing is taking a chicken to get over there. I suppose it takes less time than playing Zelda's Lullaby, and then there's always a little cutscene. There's something funny about that cutscene as well, if you guys have noticed. When you come back as an adult, I don't think you even need to, but when you come back as an adult, the cutscene... when the waterfall opens up, the camera just kind of like zooms out, and you can see all the paths and stuff. His legs are super short as an adult. It's like they forgot to animate adult Link in that, and so his legs are just cut off. It's really funny looking. He's real short. I always think it says mom. It looks like it says mom on the Goron's lips when they get real close. I know it doesn't. They're just like vertical slashes, but to me they look funny. Alright. What we're gonna do is go up, get our, I think it's the magic meter. Go up the mountain. And I may also grab one of these gold. There's one gold Skulltula. If you take the owl back down to Kakariko Village, you can get a heart piece, and you can get a a gold Skulltula that's there at night, I believe. Ugh. This is another timing one. That one absolutely hit the rock and it just didn't blow up. Crazy. That looks like it glitched through and it fell inside of the rock. It didn't bounce off. Oh, the crater cut out. Yeah, also. There's also a gold Skulltula up there, too. So in Death Mountain Crater, there's the crate, and then there's the cutout one. I don't know if I have enough hearts, but I think the rock thing has to happen at least a couple times on your way up. You can sort of cheat your way up. If you time it, making your way up. I'm just going to take as much damage. Does not matter. That's funny. The one in the crater cut out, yeah. And the only reason I'm doing this now instead of saving later, because it's cumbersome just to come all the way. You have enough time to at least get there and save. Run backwards. Here, by the way, the rocks are designed to land in front of you, although it might just be adult Link. Interesting, I never thought about that. They only land in front of you. I will have to check that. Doing the Biggoron Sword side quest, if you haven't done the Fire Temple, means that you have to do all of this with the rocks falling down. So that could be annoying, but if that works as adult Link, then that's cool because then you don't have to worry about that. Yeah, you're talking about the cutout here in Death Mountain Crater. I'm gonna get this Skulltula first, and then do the cutout. Hopefully I have enough time. The amount of time you can be in here is proportional to how many hearts you have. So I just hit something, so now that's not gonna be good. So it was 40 seconds. Well, I could do this, because she's gonna give you full health, and then I can have a few more seconds. These are, I think there's only one time where the fire is a different color, which is also interesting. Do you guys know which one is different? Because the fire is not always orange. There's one case where it's green, I believe. I always thought that top-down view with all the sides looks like every MTV video in like 1998. You know the one where it's like the inside of a cheese grater? That's what this looks like to me. I can see it, but can't think of it. So the one in front of Ganon's castle as an adult, where you have to move that ginormous boulder that you need the golden gauntlets for, that one has, I believe it's green fire. Unless you're talking about N-Sync videos from the 90s. Link Slayer. Next time you're in their neighborhood, you should drop in on a friend of mine who lives by Hyrule Castle. Oh yeah, you pop in through Hyrule Castle and put a bomb on that rock. That's where you get Din's fire. Whoops. So, I'm pretty sure, like I said, your amount of time that you can spend in fire in Death Mountain Crater is proportional to the amount of hearts that you have. So that's why I wanted to pop in there. And let's see if I can get this heart piece. Yep, 48 seconds. So I came in as 41. And this one uses... Is it here or further down? Yeah, it's here. Plenty of time. And then there's another heart piece. We're gonna take the owl over to Kakariko Village, grab the heart piece there, and there's also a gold skulltula there at night. This is the only time the owl is useful. Grab the talons, stand in the shadow, grab the talons. Didn't even have to save cheat. Save cheat? I don't know what you're talking about. What's the save cheat? To grab the heart piece? Oh, you mean if I run out and then you save and then you leave. That's what you're talking about. No, yeah, I had enough time. I think it's because I've collected some heart pieces. Save before you're about to die. Okay, yeah, I see. Oh, is this just at night? As an adult? There's totally a gold skulltula here. Maybe it is just at night as an adult. Oh well. Either way. We're gonna drop in here. Grab this heart piece. And I may call it on the next live stream. Again, I play these live streams usually Tuesdays and Thursdays around this time. So we'll be doing some... What's next? Zora's Domain, Zora's River, that area. We may go to Lake Hylia, maybe do a little bit of fishing and stuff. It is fun to go out of your way and see some of the things, get some of the things. Oh, I need to get the Deku Stick and Deku Nut upgrades because I'm pretty sure in the first versions of the N64 cartridges, if you become an adult and you try to go back and get the upgrades, you are blocked out of getting the Deku Nut upgrade, the second one. So we may try to do that just to show you guys that that is a fact. But otherwise, thank you for joining me. We all love Zelda. I have nothing else to say. I will see you guys in the next one. Wish me luck. Wish Liverpool some luck. I'm going on this weekend. Watch some Liverpool. So, alrighty. Great stream, homie. Thanks. Absolutely thanks again, Duck Nasty. See you guys in the next one.